can hear.
Oh, it's very sketchy, Evie. Okay, we are live now on Facebook.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Hello, we've got Liliana calling in from Barcelona. Oh, it's Lily. Hey, Lily, how are you? We have Faith is coming from Newcastle. Nicole is in Maitland. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, you've just frozen again, Evie. Yeah. I beg your pardon?
I think I better just call in on the main line, but hope people can see me.
It's working right now, and what might work is, and I'll just go to Facebook. What might work is when I turn my video off, we might get better bandwidth. You've frozen. And if not, yes, we may have to do phone signal. Hang on, I'll just turn my video off. You've frozen with your licking your lips. Hello, Stephen from Stradbroke Island. Can you just turn your video off and then back on, Evie, and see? Ah, there you are.
I'm just trying to turn the video off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you hear me now?
There we go. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. It is just breaking up a little, but we can hear you. Are you okay if I start then, and we'll see how we go?
If it's, I'll call you on a main line.
I think you might have to call in on your main line. Is that all right? Because it's really sketchy. We're getting every second word. I'm still looking for the number though for you. Hold tight with us, folks. Sorry, we have closed all the other apps on the computer. It's just that Evie is in far north New Zealand on a farm and it doesn't have great signal. So she's going to try calling in from her phone. So bear with us, folks. Sorry about that. Just give us 5. Yes, Anne, Monday morning technology. Just go and have a look here. Okay. Yes, Michelle, perhaps if you're there. No, that's okay because I'm joined as you, Michelle. So just to update people while Evie is hopping on, hello to everyone. Thanks, Nosh. Yeah, I've just sent it to her. We are just having a couple of little technical glitches. because Evie's in a remote area in New Zealand, so she's just struggling to get a good Wi-Fi signal today. And so I've just emailed her some other numbers. She's going to try a landline. So bear with us a moment and then we'll get going with our satsang. Emailed her some other numbers. She's going to try a landline.
Hi there. How are you?
Michelle, we can hear that in the background. Moment and we'll get going with our satsang. Emailed her some other numbers. She's going to try a landline. Sorry for everyone's ears. Thank you for being patient. Let us know where you're all calling in from. It shouldn't be long. Give us a minute.
If you want to go ahead and deal with that, then I can talk people through today and what's happening and who's going to be jumping on, so it can give you some...
That's fine. Yeah, we've kind of done everything we can. We're just waiting for her to dial in, but feel free to go ahead and tell everyone what's on today.
So what's on today? Well, apart from Evie at 8 o'clock, which is exactly who you're waiting for, there's also Clive Smallman, and he's coming in to us at 9 o'clock this morning. And the name of his talk is Superhumanism Defined, the World of Positive Deviancy. Now, when I first read that title, I had to get my head around that title to make sure that in some way it made sense to my own brain. But as I started reading more about it, what I realized that he's going to be focusing on and really talking about is he likes to pick out traits in successful people that make them successful. He likes to be someone who observes other individuals to work out what that individual is doing to create the outcomes that they're able to create. And that becomes the person's positive deviancy. So it's a really interesting take on being superhuman. So we hope you can jump in and join us at 9. Depending on how we go with Evie, we might go a little bit over time, but we'll see how we go with that one. And then later on today is someone who I have been wanting to see for the whole summit. And her name is Jenny Lee Taylor. She is an incredible human being. And Jenny Lee is a range of different things. She's had such an eclectic career, working in multiple different situations. And I'm sure she'll share a little bit of that with you. But right now she practices as a breathwork practitioner. So both AJ and I have been to Jenny Lee on different occasions as clients, and we really enjoy what it is that she is bringing to the world. And I'm very much looking forward to her take on how you can use breathwork to connect into the quantum. And her talk is called Upgrading Your Life, Taking the Next Step in Human Evolution. So I think, during the actual whole of the Superhuman Summit, we've been hearing all these different perspectives from people in and around what it takes to evolve as human beings. And for some people, they're being predictive about what they might like to see in terms of evolution, like some of our techie guides that have spoken from Singularity University have been much more predictive in nature in terms of the evolution of humans and tech together particularly. Some people have been a little bit more retrospective in terms of what they've looked back to and really observed about ancient cultures and ancient traditions and what they have been able to bring to us in terms of evolution as a species. If there's one thing that we can be very sure on, it is that we are all evolving. And if there's another thing that we can be sure on, I think definitely from a human power point of view, not only are we all evolving, but we would like to have some kind of proactive impact into that evolution process. So I think looking at human evolution from a really wide array of different perspectives is a useful thing to do. I'm just going to get into the chat to see if anyone's making comments that they want. 2 Cape Crusaders. Thanks, Stephen. And thanks, Nosh, for your patience. Absolutely. I think it's definitely Nosh. I don't know if anyone else has noticed with all the different speakers that you might have been on, but it is definitely Nosh who has been the frequent flyer person in the group. So I think, I don't know, Nosh, actually, if you're male or female or if you identify in some other way, but I want to call you a he or a she. So if you can let us know, you're male. Awesome. So you shouldn't be embarrassed. I think it's fantastic that you've been the frequent flyer in the group, and I've loved all your contribution that you've shared with us and your willingness to jump on and be involved with certainly the vast majority of speakers that I've been facilitating, and I think the same with AJ. So that's Jenny Lee. So like I said, we've got Clive Smallman at 9 o'clock. We've got Jenny Lee at 1 o'clock. And we have Loretta Honeychurch at 2 o'clock. And Loretta is going to be talking about your biofield and self-mastery. And she's coming from a health and well-being perspective. And she was on one of the live streams, I think, that we did yesterday. And she's super excited to be able to come in off the back of Joe from Warsaw and some of those other speakers that we've had that have been talking more in the health space. So we are very much looking forward to welcoming Loretta. And then our last speaker, so no pressure last speaker, our last speaker is Susan Hunter. She's going to be on at 3 o'clock today, and all of this is in Eastern Standard Time. She's going to be on at 3 o'clock today, and she is talking about, and I think that this is, you know, one of the more important topics, I would say, in this time and place and space that we all find ourselves in. She is going to be talking about how to strategically utilize pressure, and pressure that we normally define as negative. And like one of our earlier speakers talked about, actually, I'm not sure which speaker it was, but I remember one of the earlier speakers was talking about the idea of turning stress into tension. And instead of wanting to get rid of the stress and knock it on its head and get it out of your life, it was more about learning to engage with the tension. And that speaker even got us to rename the idea of stress to tension, and then continue to use the word tension throughout the rest of the presentation. And I think that's very clever, because there's something about human beings that allows us to feel a little bit more free and a little bit more lighthearted if we think we can tap into that conversation in a way that's more constructive. So with any luck, it looks like
just to let you know, she's still having issues getting on from the phone. So we're going to try again on her mobile and just see how we go with getting a connection. She can get in on the phone as an attendee to listen, but we can't get her in as a host. It's just not working. So give us a minute.
Can you hear me, Heidi?
Yeah,
AJ?
we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Thanks, Michelle.
Okay, great. Hopefully that'll hold. Oh, thank you, guys. I'm so sorry about this. How is it, AJ? Is it lagging, or you can hear me?
No, we can hear you loud and clear. Can everyone hear that's listening? Okay. Brilliant. It's a shame we won't see your beautiful face, but that's okay. We can hear your voice, which is one of the most important parts. Everyone's
brilliant.
Yes, they can hear you loud and clear now. Thank you. Thanks for persisting.
Okay. Oh, no, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much, Michelle and AJ, for inviting me to the Superhuman Summit. I think my title for this presentation, Spontaneous Satsang, is appropriate, and mainly the intention of what I wanted to share with everyone was the truth. So here is a situation, you know, how we're going to handle it. It's spontaneous, it's happening, you know, probably not similar to the feelings that can arise with this COVID-19 pandemic, or with family or sticky situations. And we have a choice. We have the right to choose how we want to respond. And that's what I've found is important in this time, with this new wave, new era that's coming through right now. I did have the opportunity to listen to the elder you invited, AJ, the Aboriginal elder, Auntie, who shared with the Indigenous cultures they believe that there's a new songline, a new time. I believe I want to talk spontaneously. You know, I have a whole plan here and it's gone out the window. So I'm going to share. I really encourage everyone online, please post your questions or answers or interact like you have been already. And thank you for holding that space in the divine and in the truth, which is the meaning of Satsang. Satsang is the coming together of a group in the company of truth. And it's to remind us that our very presence is wise and radiant. And I just want to take a moment to have us all come together. Just take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, close your eyes. Imagine or visualize there's a bright light in the center of all of us, that we're all united right now, all standing together side by side in a circle and just relaxed. And just visualizing in the center of this circle, we can see a bright light that's expanding. And fill that light with your joy, with your presence, with your wisdom, what you need to hear from this call right now. Just take a moment to leave anything outside of this call and be present. Feel an alignment with the last day of the Superhuman Summit, with us all potentially, depending on what country you are in New Zealand, we're potentially coming out of the COVID-19 lockdown. And just visualize that bright light expanding in our circle, moving through us and expanding into your home, into your environment, where you are, through you, filling you with that love and joy and presence and what you need right now, be it fulfillment, be it understanding, be it clarity, be it connection. If you're at home on your own and you've been moving through this strange time for all of us, send that to your family, that energy, that crystal clear light, to your family, to your friends. If they're in other homes where you aren't, or they are where you live and you just want to feel a calm presence between you all. And then send that energy through your neighborhood. Just take a moment to see it filtering through your neighborhood, through the people in your country that have been on the front line, be it your shopkeepers, your health professionals, or send that loving vibration to people that you may be concerned about if they're elderly or if you're afraid. Just know that we are all in this together, right here, right now. Investing in this value expansion together. Send it around, see it in your country. Now lift yourself as if you're observing the planet, and we're still in a circle and you can see the planet glowing in this loving light vibration. Just seeing everything settling for a moment and receiving what it is that you need. Seeing us joining, knowing we are in alignment. Otherwise, we wouldn't be present on this webinar and call together. Know that your presence is important. Take another breath in. Release that energy. And just open your eyes and take a moment to just contemplate how you're feeling, or type in the chat how you're feeling. If you feel up to it, just get yourself a keyword or a word that feels fitting for this moment. And if we have time at the end of the call, we will regroup that. But with that, I would like to open up the call now, AJ, if that's okay.
Perfect. That was lovely. Thank you, Evie.
You're welcome.
Someone commented that they feel very relaxed, and I couldn't agree.
I'm glad. So I know that there seems to have been a theme throughout the Superhuman Summit of people tapping into their consciousness or wanting to calm their mind or go deeper in handling others and the situations around them. that takes trust, and it takes commitment, and it takes a moment. This is just an example of one little technique that just helps to soothe any unease or distress that could be going on. And I think it's important, even with consciousness or whatever it is, that you know what your little techniques are that you can use and utilize them every day. As AJ shared in her seminar, it can just take that 10%, 10-degree shift. So utilize those techniques and utilize them well at this time. They are what are going to help you go deeper in life at this time, and meet moment to moment. There's a quote by Mary Angelou that says, "Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Invite one to stay." And I know at this time we're all inviting hope. If you have any questions or something that you would like help with at this moment, please feel free to put them in the chat. Again, this is a spontaneous satsang, so we're here to try and utilize that energy for this group at this time for the highest wisdom of all. AJ, if something comes through, just let me know.
Sure. Are you able to see the chat, or do you want me to be reading them out to you?
I think I'll just let you do that, because I don't want to have us drop off or anything.
And I'd like you to stay in alignment and in tune, as you always are. People are saying that their keywords were things like trust, serene, gratitude, relaxed. Over in Facebook, we're getting people saying feeling grateful, wonderful, loving, in flow, loving flow, accepting flow. So many, be with the truth. So your comments of the truth are really resonating for people. I guess in the beginning, I didn't get to fully intro Evie because we kind of had the technical issues. And I want to reiterate that this woman is, I guess, an empowering soul. I've known Evie for a long time. And what we're co-creating here is Satsang, which is a Sanskrit word and means being in the company of true people, like Evie said before. And so when we come together, this is how we can help enlighten one another through spontaneous questions and answers. I've known Evie, I think it was about 2008, 9, something like that. We met Evie. It's over.
That's right. Yeah.
And we met in LA on an entrepreneur summit together, and we've since traveled and done lots of learnings and things together, and have a beautiful, deep connection. And I also know how well Evie can hold the space. We've been involved in other spiritual circles together, and she really is beautiful and divine in her truth. So this is your opportunity to take advantage of getting answers or having some reflection from the universe, from the cosmos, via Evie. And I know you sometimes say Eva and Evie. What would you prefer us to call you?
Oh, just go with it. Evie's fine. That's my personal family name. But I just want to keep it brief and take the focus off me, because we have limited time.
Right.
And I just want to encourage everyone too, in this contemplation and in this time together and in this healing space. You know, we've been in the past, we've been pre-COVID-19, the whole planet has changed and taken rest right now. So it's really important to know where you're going and heading from here now. You know, and just take some time to those keywords that you received. And I was covered in, I can't remember what Michelle calls it, but chills. What does she call it? Truth bumps.
Truth bumps.
Yeah, truth bumps. But, you know, where are we all going from here? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What are you in alignment in? We're always afraid to let go of the past, and that takes courage. It takes commitment. For me, I know it takes someone else to help you see what those repetitious patterns are, you know, and you'll have that aha. You'll know what they are, because you'll have a feeling or a thought or a aha of, oh, I know this, I've been here before. I know you can all probably relate to that. And if you do, you know it's repetitious. You know it's something that's not serving you. It's not in line with where you're going. And as much as, you know, this has brought up fear, let's be in hope right now. And I encourage you, you know, with that key word, just to challenge yourself to break free of any habits that no longer serve you. We all have doubt when we're creating or starting something new, but we all know ourselves well enough to know that that doesn't serve you, which, as you're experiencing right here, right now, it doesn't serve also the collective or your family or your work environment or, you know, what you hold as true to yourself. So if you do have questions or you do just have something coming up intuitively, please share them. Like, who do you want to be going on from here? The past is the past. And let's use this time, you know, I'm sure with the Indigenous cultures or any beliefs, you know, it is important to have a foundation, you know, whether that's exercise, whether that's getting up at a certain time, whatever that is. Without that, you will be shakeable. You know, small things will irritate us, or our timing will be off, or we won't feel in flow or have those synchronistic moments. So please, you know, if as a first step after this webinar, just recheck your daily habits or rituals or what they are, and are they in place? Are they your non-negotiables? Because setting yourself up with that foundation is what's going to spring you forwards. And as much as I've said, you know, I've worked with AJ, I've worked with Michelle, you know, when I'm in my funk, I need someone else to help me see what that is. That takes trust to open up and connect with someone else on a really deep level for healing. So, you know, I am someone that as a young child, and I've suffered trauma and all of those things, have always just for whatever reason had contacts that are older than me, 15, 20 years older than me. So it could be your neighbor, it could be your elder. Utilize them. But I understand it's scary. It can be a scary time or place when you open up, or maybe it's just in your meditation and with the divine, or in your yoga practice. But reach out to someone and connect with them when you notice a repetitious patterning that you want to move beyond. Because like I said, AJ, and you might be able to expand on that a little bit, it does take another just to hold the space and to say, hey, you know, can you see it from this perspective, or do you understand it? But even without the other person, at least if you're aware of it, that's going to create the change. Do you have anything to share right now, AJ, before I just get to the next point?
We've got a couple of just comments I'd like to share from the Facebook group so that you know what's landing with people. And
yeah, thank
you in Zoom, please put in, do you have questions about your future, or who do you want to be, what's coming up? Over in the Facebook group, apart from lots of likes, we've got, I love what Satsang stands for. I've never heard this before. Such a wonderful thing to learn from. We've got Kavita, hello Kavita, saying it really resonates. Fear and hope cannot coexist. Thank you. I'll choose to let this sit in the back of my interactions today, and hopefully it will ripple forth to others. It's got, how can we all read the signs to work out the next steps in our lives?
Oh, sure. Okay. So for me, I'm high in feeling. For some of you, you may be quite visual and see things. I know that's how AJ interprets her signs in life. It takes the foundation and the trust and the flow initially in the morning. I can't emphasize how much those routines are important to set yourself up for the day. You know, we have 12 hours of the day that you might be awake or less. So you really want to be on the lookout for those signs. And it could be a knowing, it could be a feeling, it could be intuition, it could be you hear it, it could be a thought. And for me, through the feeling, there'll be synchronicity, there'll be spontaneity, there'll be something you know, I've meditated and got a grounding and a keyword, and then all of a sudden something's on the TV that I see that's in that and in alignment. It could be, you know, someone calls you and starts talking about the topic that you've had in your head, that you have in mind, that you wanting to see something synchronistic about. Does that person have anything more on that? That, you know, is there something that they feel they're stopping them from seeing the signs? Or,
Okay.
you know, it should be in grace and ease. It's feels like the magic, you know, the magic in the middle. I'm diverting a little bit, but I'll come back to the question asked. The reason why is, you know, our minds and our thoughts and life are full of contrast. You know, 1 minute we're happy, 1 minute we're sad. 1 minute we feel in our flow and synchronistic and the magic is there. 1 minute we don't. The key is trying to get to that magic in the middle and equilibrium. Again, why the foundations are so important, or the calming of the mind that's always swinging from left to right, black to white, this to that. Oh, I'm comfortable in this situation, or now I'm not. But when you're in your flow and your timing, that is when you're in equilibrium. And it could be all sorts of things depending where you are in your spiritual development or personal development or whatever it is. It all takes trust, but just to slow you down and start feeling detached from any negative thoughts. But and don't believe them, they're not the truth. Even in this satsang, you can feel the difference of the energy. You're more opening up, you're more key to seeing synchronistic events or results too. Is there needs to be an opening up. I need to be open to receiving, and receiving those signs, receiving that goodness. You know, the AJ and I talk about this a lot in the universe. The universe is an abundant place. It wants to give us all that we need, perhaps not what we want, but definitely what we need. And that's why we have the synchronistic signs or things take place, so that life can move through us. Life will move in a steady vibration. You see that in nature. It's consistent. Even when the winds come up or the storms start, there's still an element of calmness and stillness in that. And that's the place where the harmony and the signs and the synchronicities come from.
Okay, I think that's brilliant, and I'm feeling in that this is, you know, starting to expand. We've had people comment, who do you want to be in future? Someone more confident and practice gratitude more. Mahubu, welcome back, is saying solutions to the economic recession in line with God's mission.
Right. That one's a little bit beyond me, but I can say a comment. That stood out for me. In my day-to-day job, I'm of service, you know, to billionaires and things like that. And once someone said to me, you know, the whole money economic system relies on confidence. Well, the exchange of money, it's not often these days that money is exchanged in an actual physical form. It's really something untouched and, you know, over the ethers where it happens. But without the belief and the stability of our confidence in that system, it wouldn't work. That, for me, who likes to take things more deeper, said to me, okay, so clearly my confidence is going to reflect that. And, you know, I think the more confidence we have, and again, head towards the things that help us feel confident or gratitude, all those things, that more uplifting vibration are going to take us towards that. Economic wise, you know, that's something AJ or Michelle would have much more factual background on than I do. But I think right now, regardless, we're still all in a place where we really don't know where that is going to happen. You know, there's a lot of people out there. I witnessed, I was out of my lockdown bubble in New Zealand. It's been 6 weeks, yesterday and the day before, and they're quite bewildered right now. And that's from people who are financially sound, but have taken a hit as well at this time. And so I think in alignment for this call, again, it's the confidence in you know, you need to know what makes you feel confident, whether it's cooking, whether it's you feel beautiful, whether it's connecting with others, where it's a spiritual mission. You know, AJ, would you have anything further to add?
Yeah, and Nosh has just commented that you can't control the economy, so don't stress. And he's saying easier said than done.
It is. I agree totally.
The
The
word
hardest.
I keep hearing you say is trust. You know, I keep hearing you talk about trust, and I know in the work we've done together, finding that alignment is not always easy, and it does come to trust. And you're right, having someone to talk to, having someone you trust that can hold space for you helps do that. But what about people that maybe don't have, you know, an inner circle or a place to have that reflection with people? How do they surrender and lean in and feel safe when they may not be?
Well, you're taking a step in the right direction by getting yourself on these calls. That's the beauty of Wi-Fi, you know, and we are connected here. That's one step. I'd like to take the time, if everyone did get a keyword, that's one way intuitively you can work with a habit and find that connection within yourself to feel safe. I don't know if that'll work, AJ, or that's where we're heading in right now.
Yeah, let's go there. Go with trust your.
Okay. Okay. So
right.
if you did get yourself a keyword at the beginning of this call, relax and just feel into it right now. And if not, just wing it. Fake it till you make it. You know, just choose a keyword that you resonate with right now at this time. Say your keyword was relax. You know, have a look at what we've flowed and covered and talked about on this call. Are you feeling more relaxed right now? You know, and then just take some notes or have a little think or come back to this after the call of, yeah, you know, I am feeling relaxed. What has helped me there? I've connected on this call. I've done something positive. It's something that's pulled me out of my day-to-day routine. And, you know, there's people on this call that I could reach out to on the live Facebook message and connect, or, you know, just do something that helps you feel positive. If you can't leave the house right now, be it art, be it cooking, be it planning. You know, if it was me right now, I'd be planning for my future 3 months out and ahead. Just get a game plan going. If you feel like you don't have your job or something like that, you know, whatever it is that brings you harmony, be it presence, be it more meditation, be it, okay, I'm not sure what's happening here, but I am sure what is happening here, or I can spend more time with somebody, or, you know, whatever that might be. And write those down, aim towards them, visualize, see where you want to be post this time or in 3 months. They're the real game changers. And what would you do differently? You know, if you need to regroup this whole experience and weeks that you maybe have locked down, you know, maybe have a quick regroup over the past, you know, and where you are now, and what would you have done differently if you could have, you know, or if you had all the resources in the world, what would you have done differently? Even for me, for this call, you know, my keyword was relax. I had tested the Wi-Fi, but for some reason when it came to it, it didn't work. And for me, staying relaxed throughout that whole opportunity helped me stay grounded and helped not give up and to follow through and complete that vision or what it is. You know,
And I think lots of people are commenting stillness, feeling calm, that they'd like to travel and visit family more. We've got people on Facebook saying connection, totally relaxed and starting the day more positively. I know even the fact that we had some challenges getting on with the technology, and it's interesting that it was the same for Rebecca Gibson, who's also very in tune. I also go, if I stay relaxed and I surrender to whatever the universe is bringing us, then it was meant to be that we're to hear your voice, and that perhaps the visual would have been a distraction right now. And so this is divinely perfect and as it should be.
Exactly. And what I'm encouraging, so what you would do differently, and all those words are so beautiful, but you've all reminded me the essentials. I think at this time in COVID, I know in New Zealand, only the essential services have been open. And if it wasn't essential, don't leave your house, so that visiting that family friend and staying connected with them, that's essential. If you know what your essentials are, which is based on your needs, if you follow chakras or anything like that, there's a difference. There's a saying, I need a glass of water, but I want a glass of Coke. We don't need Coke. It's not good for us. It's nice as a treat, but the water element is purification. It keeps us going. It's a necessity. It's essential. So I would say, please, at this time, just tune into what's essential to you, and then post this time, keep them in place. Commit to that. There's no use making any little changes or nuances if you're not committed to them, and only you can be 100% committed to them. So once you know what you do differently, you're starting, and you can feel it, right? Everyone's getting more creative now. Everyone's kind of, I can have a little dance and a little play with this, and I'm not alone. Everything is interconnected, interrelated, and relevant. And then you'll swing more out of the contrast, the yes, no, black and white, into some equilibrium. We're creating some equilibrium here now. The middle, the path of the middle way, and that will move you forwards. That will also create a vacuum or a bubble like this, where life brings things to you, and the synchronicities will come in alignment. But the universe doesn't, it doesn't just hand things on our laps. We need to do the effort, make the effort, do these types of things, and be willing to take a chance and open up. I'm definitely not saying open yourself up in a naive way to anybody in the world. That's not helpful. Be picky, be choosy. And that was at a certain point, AJ and I talked about that the universe is picky, but I think that's a reflection of us. And then once you have that inner harmony, inner rhythm happening, an exchange happening, and where there's a giving, you're giving of yourself, you're taking the time to reflect here right now, or you may give to someone in your family, that takes sharing. And I know for some of us, sharing and opening up can be a scary place and a scary thing to do. So the smallest baby steps, again, go back, watch the video that AJ did on the 10-degree shift, smallest baby steps will move you forwards. It will create a momentum. Gain your momentum, because if you know where you're heading in your inner world, your inner exchange with yourself in your life, the universe is going to move in and help you with that. There's going to be an exchange within your inner reality and your outer reality and your outer world, and hopefully you keep moving yourself to there hand in hand and one of grace. But once you've gone through all that, you've got your keyword, you've seen what you've done. This is a little technique you can use for anything. Could be after washing the dishes, if you're contemplating in that way inclined. What I do differently, now you want to look at your highlights. What are your favorite things? Or tune into, if it's going in a futuristic direction, which I normally don't do, but I think that's the energy in the air at the moment post this COVID-19. All of us in a consciousness, as consciousness, if we're all productively kind of reestablishing what life we want to have, who we want it to be with, what we want it to be like, that again on a bigger scale is going to expand what we're talking about here. Every little drop counts. You know, the ocean is made up of just one little drop. And but always, no matter what it is, end on a highlight, end on something positive. You know, and I know it can be challenging and we're running out of time, but you know, try not to be too negative on yourself or beat yourself up or think you haven't done something right the first time. Any new experience, there's going to be a little bit of doubt, and that's where support comes in. If you can, if you have it, try and find a support person or support group or support something, even if it's going to a CrossFit class or something like that, your yoga, whatever it is, just to bring that all back in for you. AJ, can I get you to step in just with 10 minutes left for the call?
Yeah, we probably only have about 5 left or so.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, because we'll have the next people coming on. But I really love this idea, I think, of reflecting and also doing what's your highlight. And I know a couple of people have commented with their essentials. Some Faith said she's going to do visualizing of her future plans. Nosh has said simple things that money can't buy. I often think about money comes, money goes. Yeah, I often say that, easy come, easy go, Nosh, and not being attached to those things. Mahbub reminded us of a beautiful Rumi quote. Rumi's a beautiful Sufi poet, and that is live life as if everything is rigged in your favor. Couldn't agree more. We've got people saying yes, trusting and honoring the core needs that I have, and I think that's really valuable. What you're sharing right now is that thinking about what are my core needs right now.
Oh, definitely. You know, only you, how do I say this? We are the only ones that know what our core is. And the heart of the matter, our heart is our core. And in life, to me, that's a beautiful way to sum up this call. Whoever shared that, thank you. This is what spontaneous satsang is. We need to know what's at our core in life, so then we can move forwards in a more grounded, expansive way, and then we can make our choices of yes or no, or that fits with what's in alignment with my core, my values, you know, my team, my friends, my colleagues, what I want to establish. But please just remember that it's a new establishment in time post this COVID-19 or now, which I'm sure you'll hear throughout the day. So take the time to just be present and activate what's new for you and reestablish yourself in your core and in your heart of who and how you want to be, and then allow life to move through you and bring those opportunities to you. As someone else said, we'll always be tested, just like at the beginning of this call, but it's a time just to reflect, okay, I'll do this differently next time, and move forwards, you know, and ground it in trust. I'm going to just wrap it up there, AJ. I don't want to put you under pressure for timing. I'd like to thank you all so much for coming on this time, coming on this call and spending this time with us. I'm truly honored, and I wish you all well in your journey in life.
Beautiful. People are saying thank you, Evie. Sensational to hear you while driving, listening to you both, so calming. Thank you. We're getting love hearts and thank yous on the Facebook feed as well, Evie. We didn't really get to dig into the universe being picky.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe in 1 minute, is there anything worth adding there with that? Do you have any energy around that? Otherwise, we can.
Oh. Gosh, what were we talking about that? It's sustainability. You know, like us, our inner and outer world, sustainability is so important, and that comes down to essentials and needs, and that lovely comment that the gentleman said, you know, easy come, easy go with the money. But of course the universe is picky. It's going to choose who it can trust and open up to as well, and knows their core values and can rely on and trust and stand by, you know, rather than something that's more fluctuating. for the universe to put its heart into that is, you know, going to be a sounding board that's a bit distracting. You know, not that it doesn't happen, but more reaffirming to everyone. If you can get your core and your trust and everything in place, then the universe is going to, I don't want to say be picky and choosing you. That sounds like there's separation, and I know the universe, it doesn't work like that. What were you going to say, AJ?
I guess it's about doing the inner work and doing the work, because the universe will back you then. So like you said, it is surrender, but it's also taking right action. Like it's looking at your, you know, it's looking at your habits and rituals. It's looking at who you're being, and that you will get the backing and support when you're fully in that space of alignment yourself, when you're back to your 0 point and you're not stepping away from who you're meant to be.
Definitely, and it will gain momentum. That's the only difference there when we say the universe is picky. What you'll find in alignment to that is, and your truth is, that you move through things at a more rapid pace than you did before. When time and reality shifts, and you're more flowing and in momentum, rather than things feeling slower or sluggish or taking longer than they should.
So lots of people have said thank you for your words this morning, and it's about how consistent I am with staying tapped into all you are sharing. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Sondra, Michelle, Joe, Jennifer, Linda, Anne, all of the people, Tracy, who are commenting. Thank you to everyone here. And I know Evie and I have talked a lot, and you know, when you're in that flow and in that zero space, things do move faster and quicker, and collapsing of time, you know, far faster than you could ever think is possible. Things spontaneously, you know, happen. So we do have to wrap up now, because the next caller is about to on. Any final words, Evie, or do you want to do anything just to close us out in the last kind of seconds?
I just want to say, please reach out in the Facebook group that Michelle and AJ have created. If you do want to reach out to me, I'm guided to take some of that work or answer questions if you're feeling that way. If you need support, I am available. I'll work with AJ just to make sure that, you know, I show up in that group. And I think I'll just hand it back to you so that you can elevate the whole day through to your closing ceremony. And thank you so much. And just encourage everyone to trust and reach out, move forward.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to leave it there. That was brilliant, Evie. And it doesn't matter about technology, because your presence is so huge. It still shines through. For those of you who want to connect with Evie, please go back over to the Facebook group, the Superhuman Summit, and join us there. And now in 5 minutes, join us for Clive Smallman. Thank you, Evie. Have a great day in New Zealand.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.